everyone, it's Jessica. Thank you so much for watching today. I am going to make a project with something from the new Close to My Heart July and August catalog. This is the Cozy Up Card Making Workshop Kit, and I am just in love with this thin cut here, this circle wreath that comes with this workshop kit. It does make 16 beautiful cards, and the only way to get this Stampin' Thin Cut set is through that workshop. And even though I have not made my fall cards yet, I did think that I would make a little something that combines some old and new. So I'm going to pull in the Turtly Awesome stamp set here. Now, I did go through my stash and find a piece of pattern paper. This is some green apple, and then I've got some Seabrook cardstock, and then also a piece of sage cardstock, and then a little scrap of white daisy that I will use to stamp my sentiment. I will put the dimensions for all of these in the description box down below. Additionally, I pulled some toffee colored paper, and I've cut 3 pieces so that I can cut 3 of those wreaths out. And I've gone ahead and stamped and colored and die cut out my turtles from that Turtly Awesome stamp set. Now, the smaller turtle, I already did this too, but what I am going to do is take those other 2 die cut pieces and then glue them together and stack my turtle up just to give him a little bit of extra dimension. So I'll go ahead and get that done first so that he can sit under the block and start drying while I start working on the rest of the card. This is one of my favorite tricks for adding just a tiny touch of dimension without going too crazy on my foam tape. So the nice thing about liquid glue is you can kind of slide everything into place and make sure that all 3 of those layers are perfectly aligned before they start to dry. Okay, so I am pretty comfortable sending 2 pieces of cardstock through my die cutting machine at once. So I'm going to go ahead and stack 2 of these together and get this wreath all lined up. I'll take it over to my die cutting machine, send it through, and then I will do it a 3rd time with that one last piece of paper there. So I'll end up having 3 layers of this wreath stacked together, and I'm going to do that exact same trick where I just glue them all together to add just a little bit of extra dimension. I am so obsessed with this thin cut. I see so many uses for this cute little circle wreath here. Okay, so like I said, just going to kind of arrange them, make sure I have all of those openings aligned and matching up. I found it very easy to just look for the smallest of the little openings where those circles overlapped and then lining them up that way. Okay, those are drying under a block, so I'm going to start edge distressing my papers here so I can start assembling this card. Now, a lot of the times I do take my ink pad directly to the edge of my paper, but I thought today it would be fun to use a foam tool, and so I'm just kind of sponging on a little bit of coordinating ink colors to both of those pieces of paper. Now, that green piece, of course, is actually from an old winter collection, but you know what? It was the color that I wanted, and like I said, I just kind of dug into my stash, so it's always fun to use those papers up. All right, now on this sage piece of cardstock, I want to do a little bit of edge distressing with my sanding block. So I'm actually going to do this on the edge of my desk, and I can't really show it on camera, but I do like to line it up to the very edge of the desk, and that way I can kind of get a good angle on my sanding block, and then it ends up looking just like this. So I can remove some of that color and reveal the white core all the way around the edge. Okay, so the assembly on this card is pretty simple. I'm just going to center these first 2 pieces together. That green apple pattern is actually 4 by 5 1/4, so when I put it onto a card front, I will have just a little bit of a white frame showing all the way around. And then I'm going to use my Versamat and my T-square ruler here to get this sage piece of cardstock on straight. I'm putting it approximately 1.5 inches down from the top of that pattern paper, and it does go all the way across the front of the card, so it's a little bit longer, and it's going to hang out either side of the first 2 layers. Okay, and then again, using my liquid glue, I'm just going to kind of put a few tiny little beads all the way around, and I'm going to center this right here. And I want to say too that I was actually inspired to create this card, or this particular design, from one of the cards that comes in the workshop kit. So I just kind of modified the papers and the stamps and made it my own. So that seems like a good place to start playing. I did actually intend to stamp my sentiment on that little piece of white daisy and put it behind that wreath first before I glued it down. And I kind of messed that part up. So if you're going to recreate that, I would recommend doing that first. Fortunately, I was able to peel up the one side there just so I had enough room to kind of wiggle it underneath. And I was able to finagle everything in, but it would have been easier to do that first before putting that wreath down. So that was my intention. I just got a little glue happy and glued the toffee color down, but it all worked out. So I went with the sentiment that says, you turn my world upside down. And I thought that this would make a really cute anniversary card for my husband later this summer. I'm going to glue those turtles on so that they look kind of like they're swimming around that circle. I love the movement that this die cut creates for a project. It just kind of makes everything look like it's flowing. And I just thought that those turtles looked like they were going to swim in a circle, and it was so cute. Okay, so I'm going to adhere it to my card front. And like I said, you can see that white reveal all the way around. I'll get it folded. And then I went digging through my stash to find these really old mocha gems, and I'm just going to pick one of the lighter color ones that are on here in 2 different sizes, and I'm going to sprinkle some down by my little turtle and then put a couple up by the bigger turtle. And that just seemed to be the perfect little finishing touch. But then when I was done, I thought, I think I might add a little bit of liquid glass to the turtle shells, because every other thing I have created with these turtles, I've been doing that, and I just love the way that it looks. It adds that nice shininess and a little bit of dimension, and just kind of makes those shells really pop. So I'm just using liquid glass, and I'm very generously applying it over just the shell portion of the turtle. And I will set this aside to let it dry because it will take some time. I did put it on fairly thick there. But I did make another card that was a happy birthday card from that same set. You can see here, late but worth the wait. Isn't that cute? And that liquid glass right there is dry, so you can see that nice little shine. But that's it, guys. This was a really quick card, and I have some more ideas for this card making workshop set. In fact, I am going to be participating in the Close to My Heart Twisted Sisters, and on July 11th, I will be coming out with another video featuring this exact same stamp and thin cut set, and I'm going to show you my twist. But I just couldn't wait to play, and I had to do a quick little sneak peek. All right, guys, I hope you're having a fabulous day. I will leave links to anything that is available in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and happy crafting. Bye.